What's up, guys? Aldo here. So I saw a tweet the other day. Matthew Berry released his top 150, um, 150 best players in fantasy for next season, or the 150 his big board in fantasy next season. So it got me thinking I should go ahead and compare my project's predictions to Matthew Berry. That way we could get a sense of a human's predictions versus my program's predictions, which is more of like a robot's predictions. Um, Basically, let's keep it simple. It's really artificial intelligence versus um, fantasy football expert Matthew Berry. And so I'll be breaking that down here, and let's see what the results are. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and take a look at the quarterbacks and how my quarterback predictions shaped up to Matthew Berry's predictions. So this list is based on Matthew Berry's predictions. So this is how his quarterbacks go, his top quarterbacks, and he's got the top 30. Um, I have a few columns here. So the first one is just the sequential number 1 through 30 of his rankings, uh, and then the player is the second column. The third column is the difference between Matthew Berry's predictions and the artificial intelligence predictions. So, for example, Josh Allen, he was ranked number one by Matthew Berry in quarterbacks for uh, the artificial intelligence program. He was ranked number two, so there's a one um, a difference of one there, where he values Matthew Berry values Josh Allen one more than the artificial intelligence program. And then the actual rank from the artificial intelligence program is the fourth column, and then the artificial or the average difference between them. So the average difference uh, um, in total for all these picks, these 30 picks, turned out to be 11.36. So that's a pretty big difference. That means we disagree um, heavily on a few picks, and I think you could already see those like Anthony Richardson, Kyler Murray, Joe Burrow. Um, those are three that just pop off the screen here. 41 difference, 20 difference, 25 difference, um, and so that's really what drives up the average, because I was actually expecting it to be less, seeing as we do have a lot of um, guys that we value in the top 12 that are also that we both value. Like for example, um, we have Josh Allen, and that's only one difference. Jalen Hurts only two difference. Lamar Jackson only three difference. Um, So if I value the guy more, or the artificial intelligence program values the guy more, the color will be yellow. If Matthew Berry values that guy more, then the value will be red. And yeah, so you could just take a look. The rookies, which we can't predict yet, um, that one's just going to be regular like white color. And you have guys like Aaron Rodgers, who we both think is undraftable. Um, But obviously, Aaron Rodgers was higher in Matthew Berry's board. On the artificial intelligence board, he was 81st out of quarterbacks for this upcoming season, and Matthew Berry has him at 21st. But in general, I think we agree for the most part. We don't agree completely on any of the quarterbacks, though, which is kind of interesting. Now, if I go to the running back position, same setup here. The green ones, though, that you see here, it means that me and Matthew Berry uh, or the artificial intelligence program and Matthew Berry agreed completely. So there's no difference. We both think Christian McCaffrey and Breece Hall will be number 1 and 2, and we both think that Derrick Henry will be number 9. Um, yeah, there's not huge differences here either. The guys that jump off at the screen: Jonathan Taylor, Devon Achane, Josh Jacobs. Um, the average difference here is 11.26, so kind of similar to what we saw from the quarterbacks. Yeah, I would say that Josh Jacobs is a guy that he's valuing a lot more here. Um, I think Josh Jacobs did have a decent fantasy season last season, but I think he is. We both have him really like RB2 range. He has him high end RB2 range. I have him maybe low end RB2 range, and it just depends on how you value him. Devon Achane, I think same thing here, kind of low end RB2. Um, Jonathan Taylor, he has him as like a high end uh, RB1. Um, I'm sorry. Yeah, Devon Achane, he has his at 10, so he has him as an RB1. Josh Jacobs, he has his number 12. So he has these guys at RB1, and yeah, we tend to go more low end RB2 for those guys. Jonathan Taylor, low end RB2, but I mean that doesn't seem right to me. So go ahead and go with Matthew Berry on these. It's just fun to see a human versus the artificial intelligence, and just see where they agree and where they disagree, where the big differences are. I think this is all important for somebody who wants to draft and wants to maybe use the knowledge of artificial intelligence here. James Cook, I value him a lot more because you see the color is yellow. Rashad White, I value him a lot more. Alvin Kamara, I value him a lot more. Joe Mixon, I value a lot more. So those four guys, I think we kind of value more than guys like Devon Achane, Josh Jacobs, and even Jonathan Taylor. Let me see. Let me make sure there's nothing else crazy here. Um, Aaron Jones, he has him as an RB2. Can't argue there. Um, let's go to wide receiver. CeeDee Lamb, Tyreek Hill, we agree completely on. He values Jamar Chase a lot more, Justin Jefferson a lot more. We're in the same ballpark with Amon-Ra St. Brown, Puka Nacua, A.J. Brown. Um, he values Garrett Wilson, Drake London a lot more than I do. I can't predict Marvin Harrison. He has him at number 10, so keep an eye on that guy. Chris Olave, he values a lot more. Devontae Adams, he values a lot more. We value Brandon Ayuk, Nico Collins, Mike Evans, DJ Moore, Stephon Diggs a lot more. Jalen Waddle, I think he has him more in his rightful place. This is where that human intelligence um, is more reasonable with guys like Jalen Waddle and Justin Jefferson. Um, Deebo Samuel, he values a lot more. DK Metcalf, he values a bit more. We have him in the same range. Um, Michael Pittman, I like a lot more than him. Um, Devontae Smith, I like more. Cooper Kupp, um, yeah, we both have him like he has him as an RB or wide receiver 2, which I think is, I mean, great value. If you get him where the artificial intelligence is predicting, then if you get him at number 39 wide receiver, that's not going to happen. I could guarantee you that. But if you do, then you might be on route to winning your league. Tank Dell, he values a lot more right outside of wide receiver 2. Keenan Allen, he really doesn't value. So this is one that he really doesn't value and that we really value. So Maybe I could break these down a little more in depth eventually and show you like a few of the highlighted guys like Keenan Allen and why we value him so much. Amari Cooper, Christian Kirk, T. Higgins. So he values Christian Kirk, T. Higgins a lot more than we do. George Pickens, Terry McLaurin, Chris Godwin, DeAndre Hopkins, we value more than he does. And it just goes on and on. Rashee Rice, we value a lot more. I mean, he's using that human aspect of knowing that Rashee Rice has been in a lot of trouble lately. And there's a lot of interesting players here. Jameson Williams. Yeah, there's a lot of guys. Adam Thielen, he doesn't value at all, really, compared to us. We value him 53 spots higher. And then finally, the tight end position, which had the least difference, 5.5 points. We have Sam Laporta, who we both agree on. He was number one on the AI board, number one on Matthew Berry's board. Travis Kelce, number two. Trey McBride, Mark Andrews, Dalton Kincaid. He values these guys a lot more. And I would say that Trey McBride and Dalton Kincaid and Mark Andrews are all guys that, definitely deserve consideration. Especially a guy like Trey McBride and Dalton Kincaid. I think they showed a lot last season where they could really be very, very impactful this season in fantasy. Evan Ingram, George Kittle, we value those guys a little more. Jake Ferguson, we both think he'll finish 8th, oddly enough. Kyle Pitts, he values a little more than us. David Njoku, we value a little more than him. Dallas Goedert, Brock Bowers, we can't predict on him. Dalton Schultz, Pat Freiermuth. Yeah, and that's most of the guys. He only went 30 deep on this position. Isaiah Likely is another guy to keep your eye on. I mean, I think he was really good in the absence of Mark Andrews last season. Yeah, and that's pretty much it for the comparisons between Matthew Berry and the Artificial Intelligence program. If you guys have any questions, want me to dive deeper on some of the players that you saw here, and find any of this interesting, go ahead and like, and subscribe. Leave a comment below. Let me know anything. Tell me you guys' thoughts, so we could do better here. So until then, see you guys next time.